Everyone go to the, whoever comes later, go to the 1 minute this. Shit, what's wrong with this thing? Damn. Oh, yeah. Today's topic is art and craft. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Okay. It's a very interesting topic. I know it sounds boring. Art versus craft, rather. Yes, here we go. Hi, Jason. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, art and craft. So, it actually I got inspired from this very big poet lyricist in India. His name is Javed Akhtar, and he had come on a talk show, and he was talking about art and craft, and he was talking specifically in the this of their profession, like poets, lyricists, filmmakers, or whatever like that stuff like that. So what I realized is that everywhere there is only art and craft. That is all that exists. So, what is art, right? Art is very simply an expression of yourself. When you express yourself, that is art. Art is who you are, or rather, who you're most comfortable being, right? That is art. When you express it, the most obvious is, of course, painting and stuff like that. But everything, when you make a building, when you're an architect, there's a certain style. When you're running a business, there's a certain style, right? That style is art. That is you being portrayed on a canvas, being portrayed on the canvas of the world, basically. Craft, on the other hand, is where you have to use your brains to actually create that art and make it a reality, right? If you are just taught art, if you're just an arty person, right, the chances are you would not be that good at making your idea a reality. If you had an idea about a building and you were an architect, and you didn't know what to do, the building would fall. Simple as that, right? Similarly, with a lot of other this, you need both art and craft. Now, when you call someone arty, that is one side of the this. When you call someone arty, right, that means they are not connected to the world. They don't realize what is happening in the world. They are in their own world, right? When you call someone crafty, that means they are basically very smart. They're very, like they know how to get stuff done. They know how to manipulate people. So they understand people, right? That is what crafty is. Like he can manipulate whatever. It's used in a bad way. Both of these things are bad because each one of you is not seeing the reality. The truth is that both art and craft are just tools and they have to be used as tools. Yes, some people are more arty, like they have better expression. Some people are more crafty. Both of these people have to learn the opposite thing and they have to learn how to balance. So what is art basically? Art is you, right? And craft is the bullshit of the world. Now both of these things have to be amalgamated properly for anything successful to happen. Okay, whether it's business or architecture or painting, or even if you want to sell your paintings, you have to market yourself, right? So that is where craft comes this. So some people are born with art, right? And they have to learn a craft. Some people are more crafty, like they know how to understand the craft and they have to learn their art. Now I'll give you an example of, NihilAnand videos, for example. Like initially I had the art, right? Within me, I knew how to, I loved shouting at people. I was passionate about teaching. I wanted people to know certain things. Okay, but then I had to learn the craft. My initial videos were so bad. I could not explain myself properly because I just had it in me, but the explanation was a little difficult. Okay, and then as time went ahead, I learned the craft of speaking to people. Okay, in the style that I want. So you learn the craft. If something already exists, right, you must learn the craft. If you are creating something new, okay, use your art and create the craft along. Right, I'll give you an example of already used craft. For example, driving a car. Right, it's a good idea to learn the craft of driving a car before you learn the art of driving a car. Why is that? Because you don't want to spoil the car. You don't want to crash the car. You don't want someone else to crash into your car. Simple, right? So there are rules to driving a car. And then you can learn how to drive a car. Right? Like in the sense of in your way. If you want to drive fast, if you want to drive slow, then you can drive depending on the situation. So this is a perfect this of art and craft. In some cases, you will need craft more. In some cases, you will need art more. That is how it works. Any well-managed situation, politics, even an emergency, is always this of art and craft. And that is the problem with most of our education. Okay, most of our education is either too much art or too much craft. They do not balance these two concepts. Okay, and they do not go to a child and say, what is your art? Now let me teach you the craft. That is how an ideal education should be. Okay, I think it's there in Sweden, Norway. They teach a child according to what their talents are, what their abilities are, etc. But most education, it's like this, right? If you give them too much freedom, if you give a child too much freedom, he won't know what to do with his energy, right? He's not taught the craft. He only knows art, and the art is going all over, right? And then the child becomes a brat. Most Americans. In the other case, if you're only taught craft and the art is skilled, right, you'll end up as a robot. Most Indians, right? So that is basically how we are operating currently. There is no balance, there is no thought. Okay, and I'll make another video on this, how we don't think and why we don't think. It's a very important question. When we have a brain, why we don't think and why we are so lethargic about it. So that is another whole topic, and I'll make another thing on that. Right? So anyway, to the point here is that art and craft, that is how you should this. And if you have a child, if you, even with yourself, if you're confused, right, first thing, ask yourself, what is your art? And then you can create the craft. Okay, or if it's an already existing craft, learn that craft and then make the art in it. That is how you must balance yourself today. So if you make it if you make it a thing with you, if you make it easy, it will become easy, because once you realize that you are comfortable with certain arts and you're comfortable with certain crafts, right? You're natural at something. Like, I'm bad at maths, but I can learn maths if I want to. Similarly, someone else is good at something else. Suppose they're good at maths and they're comfortable in maths, but what about a life situation? Can they handle that? So that is where looking at arts and crafts neutrally for any situation, okay, is very good, because then you can learn fast. And the reason you have to learn fast, okay, is that the cycles, I feel that at least today, the cycles of the world are going faster and faster. 2 years ago, we had Corona. Now we are used to it, right? But what is going to happen is the world is going to change completely every year. And then it's going to become 6 months. And then it's going to become 3 months. Okay. So the art and craft and the situation that you need to use an art and craft is going to change faster and faster. So that is why you need to learn the idea. First, get the idea that art and crafts are not like, firstly, they're not you. None of these two things are you. Okay. You are comfortable with certain things. That is good. Strengthen those things. Some things that you are weak, try and strengthen those things. Learn everything slowly, both art and craft. Okay, learn the idea. Because see, art and craft, if you see, you will say, okay, now only in society. What if I go live in a jungle? Even in a jungle, there is a craft. You cannot just express yourself in a jungle and go wherever you want. A snake will bite you, you will die. Okay, so unless you are looking for death straight up, okay, you have to learn art and craft. So even in a jungle, there are nocturnal creatures, there are diurnal creatures, there are crepuscular creatures. Google these words if you want. Okay, and you have to learn the art and craft of handling them, how you can eat, what you can eat. This is all craft. Okay, so any situation, of course, it gets more complicated in a society because society is idiotic, right? But the art and craft has to be managed in every situation in life, in every whatever in life. Okay, so that is the video. Oh, all right. Shall we go for questions? How do I super chat? Okay, I'm going to start a super chat eventually. There's no super chat for this video. Off topic. Why do you think so many men are simps in today's age? Oh, that's a very good question, actually. About simps, right? So what is a simp, right? I'll tell you what I know of simps. I'm sure there is a bigger description. But basically, simps is someone who's like, trying to please a woman, and he's like, he's this creepy sort of fellow who's saying whatever, suppose this woman is interested in antinatalism. There are a lot of antinatalist simps, okay? And he will go to her, approach her, talking to her about antinatalism. Like, I'm so interested. Whereas he's not. He just wants, what? Okay? So the thing is that why are there so many simps and why have they lost? Again, this is art and craft, right? They have lost the art. They don't know, firstly, they don't know who they are. So there is no art over there. Okay, they don't understand the craft of it. Okay, and then they're just going and saying, I want it. I want. You cannot just go up to something and say, I want. Okay, especially today, right? You have to learn both art and craft. So these are very unaware people. Okay, and these are in fact Sims are the most unaware people. They think that a woman is going to give it, and she may just. I really don't know. She may. So, but overall, Sims don't get it. That's a fact. And the reason there are Sims is because men are just losing that. Both men and women are lost it, but men tend to lose it faster because women are more obsessed with life. They want to learn about the craft of life. But here these men don't have art or craft. Okay, look it up. We can go just live in the woods. I just told you that you can't live in the woods. I mean, you can, but you still have this. There are so many people in the world. We really aren't that unique. Actually, we are unique. It's just that, okay, every your type of this, right? Like for example, the way you are, the things that you're comfortable with is very unique. The problem is that you don't realize it. You under the mud of the bullshit that society puts on you, right? You don't realize that you are unique, that you can be something in a certain way. So you just get bored. It's more lethargy more than anything. Most people don't think because they are lethargic. When is your birthday? How old are you? Okay. When is my birthday? 22nd Jan. I am 30 this Jan. I've met child-free Sims who ended up imposing life on another because they couldn't say no to the woman. Yeah, that's true. That happens. Child-free Sims, yeah. Because I don't want to talk about Sims, yeah. They're big time losers. Can I ever meet you, Nihil? Okay. Soon. The government might hunt you and keep you from living in the woods. What? Because they don't want others to follow. In fact, the US government has very strict rules about living in the woods. It's very interesting. But I mean, they also have a point because people will, everyone will go and live in the woods. So, yeah, it's very difficult to actually keep that balance. So every government does have laws about living in the woods, but then you can choose certain woods. There are communities in the world which live basically in the woods, and they live for the community and they do everything for each other. So, if there's a will, there's a way. I mean, if you really want to find it, you can find it. There is no issue there. All right. Any more questions, or I'll shut the video? Another 30 seconds. All right. Thoughts on prostitution? I think it should be legal, so that it can be regulated, and it can be it can be taxed. So many arguments pro prostitution. I mean, finally, people are going to do it. Yeah, it's the easiest thing to do, and yeah, that's it. Like, it should be legal. Why not? How to free yourself from this subjugation? Subjugation is a point of view. Okay, I believe that this is Tyrion Lannister's quote. He says that even a slave has a choice. He has a choice between slavery and killing himself, right? So similarly, you always have a choice. So if you want to get out of it, make a plan, learn the art and craft of getting out of it. Okay, I will teach you if you need. Come to Goa, sit here, I will teach you. So it's just like that. It's just a question of balancing these two and learning to get out of society. Yes, I'm not saying it's easy. Everything is difficult, but it's just a matter of learning it. And when you learn it, then it will become easy. What is the big issue there? Your opinion on veganism? I don't agree with veganism yet. Okay, because I'll tell you why. I tried being a vegan for 2 months and it was bad. Like, I felt weak, muscles wouldn't grow. Frankly, I couldn't afford it. It was like my food budget went up 300%, and I just don't find it to be like I don't find it to be a healthy choice. Okay, if someone else finds it, good for them. Okay, so I'm not going to give up my this because I think about animals. I don't care either ways. So yeah, that's it. Not strictly art, but I've had a natural urge to grow my own food. The craft is learned by so few these days. That's true. That's true. Growing your own food is, I think, it's really a skill. It's not. It's a skill I am not bothered to learn because I'm just too bored. But and I don't even care. Like, I'm not. If society comes to the point where we all have to grow our own food, I'll just go and jump in a river or something. So it's just that I'm not interested. I'm genuinely not interested. But if you are, you must learn the skill because it's a great skill, and it's you learn a lot. Like frankly, I've seen people growing their food, and they're very different kind of people. Like the quality of those people are very different. Like they grow their own food, they eat their own food. They I know a couple who makes barren lands fertile, and they basically just eat off their own land. It's a very interesting it's a very interesting dimension of life, frankly. This was a quickie. I like quickies. Cool. Do you really think women doing prostitution by choice? I don't think so. I think there is a percentage of women who are doing prostitution by choice, and if prostitution is legal, a lot more women will be doing prostitution by choice. But yes, there are, I think most people are not in it by choice. But the thing is that they are going to be prostitutes anyway, right? So why not regulate it? Ensure that they do not have diseases. Okay, ensure that they are treated humanely. Right now, they are illegal. They are treated like criminals. So they are treated badly by the pimps, and they are treated badly by the police. What is the point? You must watch undercover investigation of animal factories, and then you don't care about human health. See, okay, so the question here is, you watch undercover investigation about animal factories, and then you won't care about human health. The thing is that, yes, they apparently they treat them badly, or they feed them a lot of bullshit, right? But it's not affected me yet. When it affects me, like on a daily basis, then I will change it. There is no issue there. Increase your carbon footprint as much as possible. I agree. That is my whole thing. That is my thing about vegan. I really want to increase the carbon footprint. Like if I really enjoyed beef, I would have beef because it has the highest carbon footprint. Animals are sentient beings too, though, right? So it's not about for me. I don't really care. I don't understand like the world of animals as much. Okay, and secondly, if they are killed, that's not really my thing. I'm more interested in one and only one thing: remove the humans from this planet. Okay, and remove them as humanely as possible, if possible, and then this entire thing will just stop. The entire this. Meanwhile, I don't want to feel weak. I don't enjoy the whole feeling of being weak and vegan, because I believe that humans have evolved to this level, to this cerebral level, by eating meat. Okay, that is just a fact. But this level of protein, we would not have reached otherwise. This level, we are not just vegans. We are basically omnivores. So we get food from multiple sources. But then people have just children. Okay, people could have children to have to increase carbon footprint. Okay, so that is one point where I say that don't have it, because if that is your point, then you're just stupid. You're just retarded. Okay, so don't having children, creating another being, making it suffer, increasing the consumption or whatever. It's just stupid. You do it yourself now. Why don't you have the carbon footprint of your child? Okay, leave the shower on at home and go. Like what difference? So you can do that and have more resources for yourself instead of spending on a child. Why are people in Afghanistan still having babies? Oh, high level unconsciousness. I made an entire video on Afghanistan. You should check it out. Basically idiocy. Like even the educated people, so stupid. Like they don't understand their geography, they don't understand their history. They just like, we want liberalism. What's wrong with you guys? 92 born, yeah. This just waiting for society to collapse at this point. I think most of us are. There is a very nice quote by Haruki Murakami. He says, deep inside our hearts, we are all waiting for the end of the world. I don't know what he meant by that, but I find it to be very deep. Like we all are. I really find it that we all are. We know we've screwed up. We've screwed up beyond repair. That is why even the rich don't care. They're just like, okay, just they keep making these climate pledges, but they know that we cannot. It's not possible. It's the end. It's the end game going on here. Do you think the world feel responsible for Afghans? They gave up their own country. No, I don't think anyone should be responsible for any refugee. The moment someone gives up their country, see, it's like this, right? If a woman left one guy to come to you, right? I mean, if she was still with him and then then she will leave you to go to some other guy. So the thing is, it's not about refugees and feeling bad for them. If they don't fight for their country, they are not going to fight for your country. What guarantee? Okay, that one day they will just stand up and say, this country is nonsense. right? You cannot take that risk. So it's just ridiculous to allow refugees in your country. It's the Islamic factor. Oh, I'm going to make a video on Islam. I think it's a very interesting topic. I'm just trying to make it as non-controversial as possible because for now I just like my head on my shoulders. What do you think of solipsism? Okay, one second. Solipsism. I've heard the term. Can you just tell me the description quickly? I know what it is, but I forgot. People will continue to have babies, and the carbon household is irreversibly messed. We will go extinct in any case. Where okay, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna end it in 2 minutes. Can you quickly tell me what solipsism is? Links. I know what it is. It's not in my mind. It's not in my head right now. The view that or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist, right? You can only prove that you exist, everything that exists in your mind. Right. So the idea, very good. I love this concept. It's so interesting. Okay, and it's possible. Who knows? Like, you really don't know if like only you exist, right? And there have been philosophical theories trying to disprove solipsism and whatnot. But the truth is, we don't know. So that is how you must live your life. That I don't know. Let's find out. And it's a great possibility. What if you even if you find out that you are the only person here and this whole thing is a damn video game? Fair enough. So what? I mean, it should not be something shocking. Okay. All right, guys. I think I'll close this video. Thank you so much for showing up. Okay. My next video is going to be on Tuesday, and it's going to be about why people don't think. Why all of us in general don't think, because I've been learning a lot about it recently. Especially like I've been talking to a friend of mine who is dating a guy, and the guy is like a complete loser. Okay, and she just keeps ignoring the whole idea. She keeps like she's like, okay, I'm like, break up. She's like, no, nothing like that. This is wrong. Okay, I'm not going to do this. And she asked me for help, like, can you help me? I'm like, no, it's not going to work. Okay, so my question is, why don't you think, to her? And I'm learning from her, like, why people don't think, because the way she's reacting and stuff. So it's very interesting. I'll make a whole proper session on this. All right. So I'll see you all on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. All right. I hope you liked the video, and bye. See you.